Welcome back to the Royal Family Podcast. Here we have one of just the quickest, smartest, most accomplished, really, podcasters out there. And then we have Austin. Austin, how you
Wow.
doing?
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that personally. I'm gonna show you what I have in terms of podcast analysis. You just wait. But
Cool.
other than that,
Sick.
I'm all right. I
Yeah,
can
man.
see you're doing
Yeah.
great on that other end with all your baseball knowledge.
I am doing all right, and I'm doing all right because I think the Royals season is looking up, and I think some people have like a different perspective on where we are right now. I think a lot of people may be pessimistic right now, but here's where we are, Royal Family. We just lost the series to the Tigers, yes. However, we are only 2.5 games behind Seattle, and we just called up Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. Our next two series are at home against the Angels and the Twins. The Angels, terrible this half of the season. Only mid last half of the season. And they're really not even in contention anymore. We should be able to beat them. The Twins, even worse. They had like a slight spike in play right after they traded their whole team away, but that eventually calmed down. And they do have our number in Target Field, but we're 3-1 against them at home this year. I feel good about that series as well. Because of that, I think if we sweep one of these series and win the other, we might pass Seattle. And passing Seattle, to me, is only tying Seattle because we have the tiebreaker against them. So I think we can make up 2.5 games this week. I really do. Maybe even if we just win both series without a sweep. I'm not sure, but Seattle looks terrible on the road. They have a road trip all this week. They've lost 8 out of 9 of their last road games. I feel good about it. I know there's a few issues in some areas with the team. Lugo is a huge problem, showing huge red flags. Has given up more than 4 runs in 6 of his last 7 starts. Noah Cameron seems to be having some problems. I'm actually glad they gave him a rest day and called Kolek up for that rest day. Hopefully that gets him back into gear. But yeah, we do have a lot of pitching problems despite Q's decisions, which makes his decisions that much harder for him to make. And if he's not making the easy ones, then I do think it'll be fine come playoff time because he's not just gonna give up on a play. Well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't jinx it, but
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't expect him to, but we have to make it there first. Yeah. And that did bring up one thing I forgot to mention is sending down Kolek right before the roster expansion on the 1st of September. And now we can't call him up for, I know it's less than 2 weeks now, but at that time, 15 days before he could be called back up after he threw a pretty good game, I thought was really disappointing when you think about the other players we maybe could have, sent down. And of course, Lugo, like you mentioned, has kind of been struggling. Is it age? Is it fatigue? Is it both? I think maybe a little bit of both, but I think at this point in the season, I think it's mainly fatigue. And one idea that I think you brought up, which I think the Royals should at least consider in the short term, is making him a glorified bullpen piece.
Well, yeah. I think, I'll forgive sending Kolek down if Cole Reagans is reinstated in the next 7 days. As it looks like he might be, I think Reagans is going to get added to the bullpen, and then that should be fine. I am still pretty pumped that Luinder Avila just got called up. I'm excited to see what he does. But anyways, we're currently 2.5 games back. The key for us, besides just winning these 2 easy series we have before we play the big boys, is we need to stay within 3 games of Seattle. If we stay within 3 games, then September 16th through 18th, we play the Mariners. And then, to me, we probably just need to win 2 out of 3 games. And then for the rest of the season, which I think is like 2 more series or 3 more series after that, we just have to play 1 game better than them. Now, a sweep is obviously ideal. I just think we can still do it if we're max 3 games back and we win that series, and then we just got to play some ball the next couple of weeks. I do think if Seattle goes on a heater, we might be doomed because we have some tough matchups coming up. So if we can't get any closer this week with the easy teams and they get hot, it might be over. All the other teams are pulling away, it seems. They can still plummet. Things can still happen like that. But we do need Seattle to not go on a big streak, essentially. No matter what happens, I think a key series to look at is that A's series that ends the year, because I think a lot of people are like, as long as we just play our best ball and we are in a playoff spot when we face the A's, we should be good. But we shouldn't be thinking like that because the A's have been incredibly hot. 23-17 since the All-Star break. That's 3rd in the American League, behind only us and Boston. They have a Rookie of the Year on their team. And then they have another rookie who's not going to be Rookie of the Year, but probably will win the batting title if Judge continues to slip. That's Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson. Their pitching has improved a lot too. I think we could easily lose that series, so we need to look at that we need to not overlook them, because I think that would be super easy to do. And then lastly, I mentioned Jack and Carter got brought up. To me, this is not like a put them in the lineup and now we might be able to get into the playoffs. This is a either put them in the lineup and we might do damage in the playoffs. We might be one of the top 5 contenders in the league, or they're gonna have a complete drought and we just gotta shut them down, send them back down, or not put them in the lineup very much. But I think that at least gives us an incredibly high ceiling, and it's worth the risk of losing a few games just to see if we can start getting those RBIs up, that batting average with runners in scoring position, power, obviously, and then like just the thought that we could be unstoppable against lefties, that we could be unstoppable against righties could be so huge come playoff time. But I'm excited to see how they look. They're not in the starting lineup tonight as we record this on Tuesday, September 2nd. I'm hoping that's because it looks like the Angels might be just using all of their bullpen instead of a starter. So we might see a pinch hit or two. We are going to get into the Hud Quote of the week. And this week we have a real special one and a long one. And that is Hud and Ryan kind of diving into Hud's baseball career. So we're going to look at that.
That's right. 2 outs, they'll hit a double. And managers would always tell me that, right? I'd be in the on-deck circle, and I would look at when the runner or the hitter got on ahead of me, I'd look at the skipper and I'd say, and I'd give him the bunt like I'm going to bunt. He'd go, no, 2 outs, hit a double.
How many times did you actually hit a double?
Not very often.
Not a single.
It's hard.
Not a triple.
It's hard to hit.
Not a home run. Hit a double.
That's right. You can't ask too much. You score the runner.
You want to take a guess at how many doubles you hit in your career?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. 10.
That was how many triples you hit.
That's right.
Doubles.
No. I had no idea.
96.
Really?
Yeah.
What the heck?
And that includes, you had a 20 double season.
Really?
With the Angels in 96. What else do you want to know about your career?
The ball was juiced.
16 home runs.
Merry Christmas.
311 that year.
Only one good year ever. Nice.
There's your double.
Hey, get the gap.
To the gap.
The balls were juiced, Austin. The balls were juiced.
Like, how legendary. Like, not only the humility to be like downplaying his own career to where Ryan had to be like, no, dude, you were better than that. But this man's just a national treasure, and we have to protect him at all costs.
Yeah, for sure. You said humility. Yeah, there's always going to be a few haters of Hud on our posts about him. And one time, a commenter said that he was an egomaniac. And I was like, bro, I don't feel like you've ever heard him call a game in your life. Not that he calls the game, but you know what I mean. Gotta love him. Good old Hud. But let's talk about someone a little less likable. And that is the NWSL Commissioner, which, Austin, I hear you have some updates for me on that current game a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was way too hot to play and kept getting delayed and that debacle. So if you want to share that.
Absolutely. So, as everyone is well aware, the August 16th game against Orlando Pride, it was supposed to be the game of the year. The only problem is it was super hot in Kansas City. So if you haven't heard it before now, there was delay after delay after delay. It ended up coming out that the commissioner threatened the teams. In particular, she threatened the KC Current with sanctions because they didn't go through the proper protocol when it comes to deciding whether a game should be played or not played. Now, this is in the backdrop of the fact that this was a nationally televised CBS game, and the NWSL had a particularly high interest in having this game broadcasted nationally. So I did some digging, some reporting recently came out, and I did just kind of want to talk through things and kind of talk about what we know as of now. With the NWSL, the whole idea is if the temperature is above 92.3 degrees, they're not going to play. So the way they do it, they have someone do a reading about 45 minutes before a game starts. And if everything's good to go, players can go ahead and warm up. Then they'll do another reading before the game starts. Then we're free to play. Everybody has fun.
Thank God they have that rule, and thank God they'll never change it. Go on.
I know, right? And it's funny you say that because keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your mind. Just file that away.
Okay.
So, so they use a wet bulb to measure the heat. What a wet bulb is, I'm not sure. But they have to measure it in the middle of the center circle. So the direct center of the football pitch, that's where they take the temperature readings. Now, when they did the temperature reading that day, there was a cloud that happened to pass over around the same time they were getting the reading. So the temperature read 91.8 degrees. So that means, temperature-wise, we're good to play. Now, when that cloud passed away, of course, the temperature rose higher than 92.3 degrees. KC Current was concerned about this, in particular their medical staff. They talked to the chief medical officer, who is a doctor, Dr. Cindy Cheng, and she said, you know what, let's do another temperature reading. That second temperature reading showed 95.6 degrees, which is higher than 92.3 degrees.
Yeah,
So what did that mean?
Just a little bit.
Exactly, just by a little bit. It's not like, and looking at their rules, they don't factor in heat index, so they don't care what it feels like. It's actual air temperature. So it can feel like it's 200 degrees outside. That's fine, as long as the air temperature is 92.3. That's a whole other discussion, another problem within itself. But bottom line is, it was too hot to play. Dr. Chang, as well as the KC Current, were like, you know what, we have to delay this. We don't have a choice. The NWSL Commissioner, Jessica Berman, she then decided to call the Current and be like, you have to play this game. And she threatened to fine the club for breaking protocol. Protocol in the original rules and regulations for the club, it does allow the chief medical officer for a team to be involved in that process. So no rules were broken by the Current. I believe Berman just saw the 91.8 degree and was like, why are you delaying the game despite that? But in reality, the temperature was over 95 degrees. Now, another piece of information that is important to mention here is the fact that the NWSL changed their extreme heat policy. Little did anybody know. And why is this important? They didn't raise the temperature you can play at. No, they were much more underhanded than that. What they did is they limited the ability of on-field officials to make a decision to delay the game. So they took the power out of the hands of a Dr. Chang, chief medical officer of a team, to say, you know what, it is too hot. We need to delay this game. So now it is totally in control of the league. Hopefully they still do abide to that temperature cutoff, but no on-field official, aka somebody who's actually there in the heat, cannot make a decision in the best interest of players and fans to delay a game.
And it's so funny, real quick, that the commissioner doesn't know the demographic of her league, like the fans of it, because if it's too hot to play, let's say probably next year, because we probably won't have to deal with that again this year. If it's too hot to play, and I think the players just won't is the thing. And if the commissioner's gonna somehow lash out at them, fines, suspensions, whatever it may be, she's never gonna survive that, because this league is very forward thinking and very, I think, cares about the players as opposed to anything else. So I just think that's funny that she thinks she's gonna possibly get away with something like that in the future.
It really was, and it was kind of a slap in the face. Like, after, a couple weeks ago, I was, praising her and the league for what they've done. And I still do stand by what they've done. But with the player safety, and in this case, fan safety as well, it just doesn't make any sense. And this is really strike two for the NWSL this year. Because earlier this year, Savvy King from Bay FC, she had cardiac arrest. She collapsed during the game. They still continued to play the game. And NWSL afterwards was like, yeah, we did drop the ball. At least they owned up and acknowledged it. But in that moment where you have to make the hard decision, you call that game. You don't force those players to continue playing after what they just witnessed. So this is really strike two for the league. Of course, with the Savvy King incident, hopefully they learn from it. Hopefully nothing like that ever happens again. But if it does, hopefully appropriate steps are taken. And then similar to this situation, hopefully appropriate steps are taken. But it already seems like that's not the case with the changing of these rules, kind of underhandedly, without much publicity, to kind of sneak it in there to kind of restrict the ability of a chief medical officer to make that decision for the safety of the players and the fans. And I really don't know kind of what the goal was with this rule change. Of course, they'll probably find a way to justify it, but in my opinion, I didn't agree. I didn't agree with it.
Yeah, and
But go ahead.
We found out that the NWSL Player Association flagged some of these hot day Kansas City games back in January, which is even crazier that they just essentially got ignored. I just thought that was a little wild.
Everyone knows Midwest in the middle of August, it's just about as hot as anywhere in the country. And like you said, they did flag these games for the potential that it could be really hot. In that case, what should NWSL do? You either make the game an 11 o'clock game or you make it a primetime game.
Yeah.
But, of course, they were probably at the liberty of CBS, and 3 o'clock was the only time CBS gave them that day. So they just said, well, what the heck? We'll just roll with it.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like if the Player Association doesn't get to flag games before they agree to a time with CBS, then they need to change how that works. And if they do get to flag games before that, then the commissioner really shouldn't be crying about losing millions of dollars because she was warned.
All right, so that was a bit of a heavy topic, not one that I enjoyed. But there was good news as far as the Current are concerned. The game this past week, August 30th, KC Current was home against North Carolina Courage. Significantly cooler compared to their previous game at CPKC.
We got some.
I thought
we got
it was
some. Not unusual, but like not as common scorers. I heard goal scorers.
We did. Izzy Rodriguez was able to open up the scoring. She had a cross into the 9 and, she had a cross into the 18. Nobody touched it. No defender. The keeper was expecting her defenders to clear the ball. Nobody wanted the ball. Izzy ends up with the goal.
No, that was a shot on goal. She knew exactly what she was doing, for sure.
We like to think so. I'd like to think so. She'll take the credit either way. And then something that kind of caught me off. We scored our first goal that I didn't celebrate. You want to know why I didn't celebrate that goal?
Well, I have no idea because it was made by the Selly Queen, so it feels like you should have celebrated.
Yes, Lo, the Selly Queen, she scored the penalty, but why did we get the penalty? Temwa Shawinga may or may not have flopped and drew the penalty. I was really surprised VAR wasn't called on this, but I guess it is what it is. Sometimes the ball bounces your way. But in more important news, with that win, Current have officially secured a playoff spot. So now we just wait to see how the rest of the playoff field fills out.
Job's not
done. So that's all we've got. Job is not done.
Kobe Bryant.
You heard it here first.
Okay, we are getting back into our Name That Royals segment. But this week, it's going to be a competition between me and Austin because we're not only doing Name That Royal, we are also doing Name That Current. I am more of the Royals expert on this podcast. I come up with a player, give Austin some interesting facts one at a time, and see how quickly he can guess them. He's going to give me the same for a Kansas City Current player. And we have some scoring this round since it's a competition. And these points are going to roll over throughout the months. And we're going to have a rolling leaderboard tally going on until, we'll say, like the end of October, essentially. So there will be 6 hints for each of us. If you guess it on the first hint, you get 10 points. If you guess it on the second hint, you get 7. Guess it on the third, you get 4. Fourth, you get 3. Fifth, you get 2. And if you guess it on the sixth hint, which should be completely obvious, you get 1 point. You have 3 guesses total, so you got to use them sparingly. You can skip if you want. And if you guess all 3 incorrectly, you get 0 points. So you have to be thinking about that.
What if I guess it before I get a hint?
If you guess it before I say anything, I'll give you 50 points. But it counts as a guess. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanna do that. But heads or tails?
Heads, always heads.
Okay, I'm always tails. Tails never fails. It failed. All right, it is heads. Do you wanna be the quizzer or the quizzee first?
Ooh, let me be quizzed first. I'll let
Okay.
you quiz me first.
Cool. So, guess that royal. Here we go. Hint number 1. They play much better when it's hot and sunny than when it's cold and cloudy.
Okay. I feel like that's every baseball player.
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna need more than that.
okay, whatever.
Unless
I
it's Schwarber. I know Schwarber plays good in cold weather.
Okay, well, Schwarber is
But
not
that's
a
obviously
royal.
not an option. I know that, but he's
And-
the only guy I could think of.
Okay.
But go
Well,
ahead.
number 2, he played baseball for the Fighting Illini, just like his father.
Oh my gosh. He's from. Okay. So my rationale with this, he's from Chicago. And hold on. This
Well-
guy can be someone. He may not be from Chicago, but this is somebody who can be either up or down, correct? He doesn't have to be on the full roster.
He has to have
Right.
been on the 26-man roster at some point this season. So,
At some
I
point
forgot to
this
say, Carter Jensen is qualified for this, just so you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he doesn't have to currently be up.
There's one guy I'm thinking of, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'll take another hint.
This player has 35 career home runs.
I am glad I didn't go through with my first guess.
Was it a pitcher?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It's just someone who does not have 35 homers.
Okay. I
Um,
think I know who you were thinking of.
I was thinking about Rave at first,
Thought you might.
but no.
Also, remember that you have 3 guesses instead of 2 this time. So a guess here might
Sure.
be useful. If you want to get more
Gotcha.
points, remember you get more points the earlier you guess.
Illinois, warm weather, and what was it? What was the third one? Or
What was what?
you've given me 3 hints, right?
Oh,
Or you've only given me 2.
this player has 35 career home runs.
35 career home runs. I know it can't be what you gave me last week.
Could be.
35. Is it?
Okay. It's almost like you said it out loud when I said we were gonna wait to say it out loud.
Oh, like okay, I see what you mean. Like type it in. Okay, my bad. Okay, I got you.
And now he
I get
types.
you
Okay. 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 Austin has a guess, but first, before Austin guesses, let me read the rest of these answers out because Austin is correct. He bats .308 against the White Sox, the team he rooted for growing up. Since 2023, he has 8 outs above average, which includes playing at 2 positions. And this player shares a first name with 3 other Royals on the current roster. Austin, you guessed after the 3rd question. What was your guess?
Was Michael Massey. And thanks for making me feel as though he wasn't from Chicago when I heard he went to Illinois.
You are correct. That is Michael Massey. And to be clear, I didn't say he wasn't from Chicago. I just said just because he played for the Fighting Illini in college doesn't mean he's from Chicago. The Royals just expanded their roster to 28, and the Chiefs have their first game coming up this week. So we're going to talk about the most important news in the Kansas City sports world and the sports world in general. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. Travis set up a nice little garden type of thing going on in his backyard in Leawood. I'm happy for them. Taylor's never been engaged before, so as much as people didn't think they were going to last, it's not like she's broken off publicly an engagement before. So, this might be the one. At least for a while. I mean, most marriages don't last, but I don't know why I'm getting into a philosophical commentary now, but I'm happy for them. As far as billionaires go, Taylor's fine. And Kelsey's my guy, of course. I will say, if you're somebody who finds yourself filled with anger when you hear this news, maybe even so angry as to go online and complain about it, take a second, put your phone down, close your eyes, reach deep within yourself and find the source of that anger. Because, why? Now, this is the part of the pod that I am most excited about this week, and it's because I came up with a new creation. And is it possible that this has already been created in some way, shape, or form, and I just didn't look up if it was because I want it to be original? Sure. But I did come up with this, and that is what I'm calling City Fantasy. And specifically for us, for right now, Kansas City Fantasy. And now you're like, Tyler, what sport? Like fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy football, fantasy soccer? Yes. So essentially what's going to happen is Austin and I are going to do a 2-person league for right now. Maybe we make this a bigger thing next year or something, but a 2-person league, and we are going to make fantasy teams comprised of Royals players, Chiefs players, and Kansas City Current players. Those are the only Kansas City teams. There are no other ones. Please don't say anything in the comments. How we're going to do this is we're going to play only in the month of September, because that's the only month where all the sports, no matter what, match up. Now, obviously, playoffs go into October, but games will be more sparse, and we don't know if the Royals are going to make it. So this is a little September silliness for you, if you will. So it's going to be one-on-one, me versus Austin. There's not going to be games, but there's going to be updates each week, and we're going to have a total score at the end of September, and whoever wins, that wins the league, essentially, the 2-person league. So let me get into the structure of teams. It's not as simple as you may think. We are going to draft players of each we have. So we are going to draft 1 offensive Royals player, 2 offensive Chiefs players, not a kicker, 3 current players, not a goalkeeper, and then we are going to draft 1 to 2 stars. There are 3 Kansas City athletes that I found are so much better than the rest that they are going to be in a different category so that we can balance these teams. And Austin and I will pick out of those stars. They can be from any sport. And then last but not least, actually definitely least, we will each get to pick 2 pitchers from the Royals. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick stars first. And we're going to do a coin flip to figure out who is first. Now, there's only 3 stars. One of us will get... Now, you're going to think this is crazy at first. One of us will get 2 of them, whoever gets to pick first. One of us will only get 1 of them. Now, you're going to be like, Tyler, how is that fair based on a coin flip? The person's going to win the whole league. Well, that's because when we start the actual draft, the player that didn't get to pick first for the stars will get to pick first then, and it will also not be a snake draft, so that it is weighted more towards that person that didn't win the flip in the stars selection. Let me tell you who our stars are, or would you like to guess?
I'm gonna guess there's 1 star per team, and I'm going to guess that the 3 stars are
It's actually
Bobby,
so obvious. Yeah.
Patrick,
Yeah.
and Temwa.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I asked. It actually is very obvious, which is why they're in their own section, because it is obvious. Okay. Heads or tails?
Heads, always.
It is heads. Okay. I rigged it in my favor, and I didn't even get to reap the benefits. No, kidding. Okay. Austin, you get first pick for your star. Out of the 3 we just listed, Bobby Witt Jr., Patrick Mahomes, and Timwa Shawinga.
Oof. Let me just double check, because Chumwa came out of the game earlier this week.
We'll
Just make
figure it
sure
out
she's alive.
if she gets injured.
I'll choose Temwa Chewinga.
We'll compensate you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll
Temwa.
do Temwa.
Cool. I lied. We will not compensate you if she's injured. I will go with Bobby. So by default, you get Patrick Mahomes. Now we are going to do the meat of the drafts here. It's going to be Royals, Chiefs, and current. You can pick one from any of them, but you can only in total pick 1 Royal, 2 Chiefs, 3 current. So it'll be me first. Again, Chiefs are only offense and no kicker or offensive line. And then current, we're just going to do any position besides goalkeeper on current, and we'll figure it out.
Sure.
Okay. With my first pick, I am going to go... can you guess?
Vinny, if you're picking a
No.
Royal.
I'm going to go Michael
Michael. Jeez.
Garcia.
My gosh. Of course.
And again, you can pick from any sport, so you're on the clock.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what? I think he's going to do something big. Let's go with Vinny.
Okay. Well, because I just learned she's the second leading scorer on the team, I'm going to go with Dabinia. Thank you for that
Very
information.
nice. Okay. Let's see. It's 2 Chiefs, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to go with Xavier Worthy.
Okay. I'm going to go with assists leader. Ooh, only 5 though.
You scared me when you said that. I was like, what is he going to do?
No. I'm going to go with Bia.
Oof, good selection. I'm going to go with Michelle Cooper.
Okay. I am going to go with... Ooh, that's a risk. God, almost everywhere you look on the Chiefs offense is an injury risk. I'm going to go with Pacheco.
Nice. And it's 2 Chiefs, 3 current, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Tough. So I got Michelle. I've got Temwa. I would say Allie, but I could do that. She's pretty solid. Let me do Kayla Sharples.
All right.
My unsung hero of this season.
Let the record show that the fact that Austin hasn't drafted this person up to this point means that he thinks he's washed. Travis Kelce. Welcome to the team.
Oh. Never said that. That was gonna be my next pick if you didn't pick him. In that case, I would like to select Hollywood Brown.
All right. Hopefully he plays
Hopefully he can catch passes.
at all.
Hopefully he doesn't break his clavicle.
Give me Izzy.
Tartar sauce. Izzy, so then I'll choose it's like stat wise, I don't know who's gonna like, you know what I mean? That's fine. I think she'll do something. I'm gonna say Ali Santnor.
Cool.
She's tugging on me right now, so we'll go with that.
Did not need to know that. Okay, so
Yeah,
with the pitchers, we'll do one starter, one reliever. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what order you get, starter or reliever.
Cool.
So
Sure.
I will go with Carlos Estevez.
Darn it. I'm gonna do you go, I go. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be crazy.
I can't even get through this. I can't even get through this sentence. No, I'll do Michael Waka.
Okay. Good pick. I'll go. Do I want to take a risk? No, I'll go Burgert.
Okay. Solid. I am very tempted to pick my closer, but I will instead.
There is two other better options.
Yeah, I know. Well, as of late in particular, but one of
Yes.
them gives me heartburn. So I'm like, I don't trust him.
Okay.
Dang, this is tough. Let me go with. Okay, Bolin. I know that sounds like
Whoa.
a terrible pick,
Okay.
but yeah.
I mean, I believe in him. All right. Sick. We will update everybody week to week with how that's going, how the scoring's going, maybe even more than week to week. And yeah, we'll see who wins. I think it'll be pretty exciting.